Hey travelers, it's Nancy from New Travel Escapes. Today we're diving into the culinary scene at TRS Yucatan. And here's the thing, when you book an all-inclusive resort like this, you're paying for your food and drinks up front. So knowing what to expect in terms of quality and variety really matters, in my opinion. That's why we're breaking it all down for you in this video. From elegant dinners to beachfront lunches and crafted cocktails, we're going to cover it all. Let's explore the flavors that make this resort a standout for foodies, and by the end, you'll know if TRS belongs on your vacation shortlist. Now, before we get into the bites and sips, a quick overview. TRS Yucatan is the luxury adults-only option within the Grand Palladium Riviera Maya Resort Complex. Fun fact, TRS originally stood for the Royal Suites. Well, I guess it still does, but over the years, it's simply become TRS. It's exclusive to guests 18 years of age and over. Now, we've already shared a full resort walkthrough and an in-depth review of our stay, so you might want to check those videos out first, but today's video is all about the food and drinks. So let's kick things off with breakfast. Although TRS guests are welcome to dine throughout the entire Grand Palladium Riviera Maya Resort Complex, there are several restaurants that are dedicated to just TRS guests. During our stay, Helios was our go-to breakfast spot. It's a waterfront restaurant located next to the TRS main pool. We had consistently excellent breakfast here. The combination of tasting tables and an a la carte menu gives you plenty of variety, all delivered with top-notch service. There's both indoor and outdoor seating, and the service at Helios for breakfast was outstanding. Inside, you'll find a similar buffet setup that they call these tasting tables. You can stick with just the buffet or tasting tables, or you can mix and match with options from the a la carte menu. I'll show you around the buffet because, let's be honest, buffet quality can tell you a lot about a resort's overall food game, and I'll also show you the a la carte menu. As we look around, you'll see a lot of things are portioned individually, and I really like this for hygiene. It was an impressive buffet setup. The idea on this type of tasting table is that you would take the whole little individual portion dish with your plate, not just dump it on or take part of it. It just keeps way fewer hands on the food and the utensils. And frankly, it keeps things so much tidier rather than people scooping into one big tray of something. There was a gentleman here making crepes to order. Wow, fantastic. If you're looking for a cooler air-conditioned environment, Capricho is a great breakfast choice. It is very similar to Helios in that it offers a nice a la carte menu, tasting tables, or a mix of both, whatever you're in the mood for. We went to Helios most often for breakfast, but not because Capricho wasn't just as good, but it's more because my husband loves dining al fresco. I tend to run warm, so while I prefer air conditioning at dinner, when I've dressed up, and put some makeup on, I'm totally fine enjoying the outdoor vibes for breakfast or lunch. Let's have a look around at Capricho. You'll notice as we go through the menus in this video that if you're vegan or vegetarian, There aren't separate menus for you. You need to follow the guideline that's usually located at the bottom or at the end of the restaurant menu. You're looking for the little green leaf, basically. And of course, for a more private start to the day, room service is always an option, bringing breakfast straight to your suite. We're usually up early filming while the resort is quiet, so we tend to save room service for our last morning while packing, or sometimes we use it for a late night bite. Here's a look at the room service menus. You can order right from the app or using your in-room smart TV. Just ignore that little dollar sign, they stay at zero. After you've placed your order, they will give you a quick phone call to the room to confirm your order and take any special requests that you might have. That late night taco menu is especially yummy. Capricho isn't just for breakfast, it's also a solid choice for lunch. The air-conditioned setting and diverse a la carte menu make it a perfect choice if you're in the mood for a more upscale, midday, maybe three-course meal. It's relaxed, refined, and reliably delicious. Let's have a quick look at the menu and some of the things we ate for lunch. The resort seemed like they were really on top of food sensitivities and allergies. The menus are detailed and will tell you if something contains sulfites or contains eggs, dairy, or gluten, if you make them aware of your food allergies, and they will ask you every time you arrive at the restaurant. They will speak to the chefs and have your dishes made in a separate part of the kitchen. Or at least that's what they told us when we asked about how they handle food allergies at the resort. Helios continues to shine at lunch, offering a menu with something for everyone. Plus those waterfront views that make everything taste just a little bit better. It's a laid-back yet elevated option for when you want a sit-down meal but aren't quite ready to leave the poolside vibe entirely. They still offer those tasting tables for lunch, but they're set up with more lunch offerings like sushi or sashimi and paella. You can also order from the a la carte lunch menu. The stamp on the burger bun was above and beyond, and it was tasty, but I'm going to take this minute to tell you not to bother with the pizzas at this resort. They were okay, I guess, but the dough are those pre-formed, cardboard-esque rounds that they throw some toppings on and quickly bake. They're efficient, sure, they don't taste great. I did not have a decent pizza here all week, and there's so many more things to choose from that are better. I just don't recommend the pizza. But let's say you don't want to change out of your swimsuit because, hey, it's vacation. No judgment. Right by the main pool and the aisle bar, there's a poolside grill serving up a casual menu of pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and a daily chef's special. One day it might be tacos, the next day paella. Just walk up, grab what looks good, and enjoy it right from your lounger. Now, if you've decided to soak up the sun on the TRS exclusive beach area, yes, that serene little stretch tucked down at the far end of the Grand Palladium complex, you don't have to go far for lunch either. They set up a beachside grill at La Jara with rotating daily specials and grab-and-go bites. You can literally have lunch with your toes in the sand and the ocean in view. A subscriber messaged me while we were there and told us to try the ribs. And let me tell you, they did not disappoint. This beach area was probably my favorite place to spend the day. La Jara is an outstanding beachside bar serving up fantastic cocktails all day long, and the fact that you can sit there and have lunch and snacks throughout the day just makes this a great spot. Dinner is the main event at TRS Yucatan, and like many upscale all-inclusives, it's entirely a la carte, with several restaurants to choose from. But first, a quick note on how to dine. All a la carte dining requires reservations, and you'll need to make those through your butler. While the app technically lets you make dinner reservations, I found it pretty unreliable. Your best bet, as soon as you check in, go ahead and book your dinner reservations for your entire stay. You can always try to modify them later, but at least you'll have something locked in. Before your arrival, you'll receive an e-butler form that includes space to request your first night's dinner reservation. We filled it out twice, but our request still got lost. We ended up with room service or the family buffet as our only option on our first night, not exactly the welcome dinner that we had in mind. I'm going to start with my favorite, La Boheme, French cuisine. La Boheme immediately stood out with its sleek white decor, clamshell corner booths, and that quintessential blue and white dinnerware. This was my favorite restaurant at TRS, but full disclosure, I'm a sucker for French cuisine, so I'm maybe a little bit biased. The mussels provençal were good, the brie en croûte was great, and nearly everything we tried was solid enough to bring us back for a second visit. The lamb ossobuco was tender and flavorful, and the surf and turf was well cooked, and we also enjoyed the duck confit, swordfish, and clams. Yeah, we came back at least twice. But the most fun dish, the fondue. Think melted brie with dippers. Now, pro tip, if you want more than crouton-style bread, ask for veggies and meat to dip as well. The bar at La Boheme made a fantastic sidecar and was the place for a proper Belvedere martini. Tentazione brings Italian flair to the resort, but in our experience, it fell a little flat. The dishes looked nice, but they lacked that craveable richness that we usually associate with Italian food. The pastas were just okay and arrived lukewarm. The beef carpaccio and tuna tartare were solid, and the sea bass was flavorful and cooked well. The tiramisu was a win, but the dessert focaccia, well, not for me. Cocktails were well done, but for an Italian venue, the included wines were disappointing. Overall, this was probably our least favorite dinner option at TRS, and when we asked around, we weren't alone with that opinion. El Gaucho is an Argentinian steakhouse, and it is a must for meat lovers. You start with a fresh bread service with 3 different types of chimichurri, followed by your choice of salad. Then you select your protein, either ribs or chicken or lamb, or several different cuts of beef, and then you can choose your sides, and of course, follow it with dessert. I'll show you the menus as we have a look around the restaurant. The outdoor dining at El Gaucho is really nice. Just pack a little bug spray in your bag, just in case. Not all meats are included. There is an extra charge for lobster, for a porterhouse, a cowboy steak, or you can even get a tomahawk. The flavors were bold, and our steaks were cooked surprisingly well for an all-inclusive. We were impressed. And don't skip dessert. The sticky toffee pudding was a hit, especially with my hubby. Now, speaking of him, the bar at El Gaucho was our favorite restaurant bar. Now, if you followed us for a while, you know my husband is a bit of a whiskey snob. He ordered an old-fashioned, and not only did the bartender deliver, it was smoked, perfectly balanced, and impressive enough that after dinner as we were leaving, he immediately ordered a second. Once a week, usually Mondays, Capricho transforms into a Mexican restaurant. So if you're craving authentic local flavors while staying at TRS, this is the night to go. The bar inside Capricho is open for dinner service too, making it a complete evening experience. While Helios wowed us at breakfast and lunch, dinner didn't quite hit the same notes. The menu leans Mediterranean with dishes like hummus, spanakopita, and smoked salmon salad. Now the salad was fresh. The spanakopita missed the mark in my opinion, and while the steaks were decent, they didn't quite measure up to El Gaucho's. Overall, dinner at Helios was fine, but if you only have a few nights, I'd prioritize the others first. And there you have it. Those are your main options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at TRS Yucatan. And of course, for those late night cravings or lazy mornings, there's always 24-hour room service, just a few taps away on the app or your in-room smart TV. When it comes to the bar scene at TRS Yucatan, each restaurant has its own dedicated bar, and we've already touched on those. But beyond your dinner drinks, there's a whole world of cocktail possibilities around the resort. Let's start with the menus, and I'll show you one of the TRS bar menus here so you can get a feel for the cocktails and mocktails that they feature. Of course, you can order pretty much anything as long as they have the ingredients, but I love using the menu as a choose-your-own-adventure guide for me. The main hub in the evenings is the Orem Bar, which is the TRS lobby bar. It has a sleek, sophisticated vibe and a wide drink selection, making it a perfect spot for a pre-dinner aperitif or a wind-down nightcap. There's usually live music going on in the lobby. Right beside Orem is the Full Moon Bar, which sits just outside Chic, the resort's dinner and cabaret show. I talked more about Chic in our full resort review, so I won't go into it again here, but even if you don't have a reservation for the show, you can still enjoy this bar and take in some of the pre-show dancing. It's also where many of the evening performances happen, and it's a lovely place to relax in the fresh air after dinner. TRS has multiple pool bars, but notably no swim-up bar. If that's a must for you, you can head over to the White Sand or the Colonial pools, which both have them. The main TRS pool has two bars, one at each end. Gaia Bar at the southern end is always busy and has excellent poolside service from morning until close. IO Bar at the other end is right next to the lunch grill that we showed you earlier, making it a handy spot to grab a cocktail while you scope out your lunch options. Keep walking past IO, and then you'll see Helios, which, by the way, has a second outdoor bar. Follow the walkway after Helios, and you'll reach the Seawater Pool, one of my favorite hidden gems. Perched at the top is Las Rocas Bar, perfectly named for its rocky perch overlooking the water. If you decide to spend time at the Seawater Pool, and I really think you should, you'll be treated to great cocktails with an even better view. In the heart of the TRS grounds, you'll find the Terrazza Pool, and yes, it has its own Terrazza Pool bar. This area is unique because it stays open until midnight. That's almost unheard of for an all-inclusive resort pool, so if you're in the mood for a starlight dip or just want to sip some bubbly under the night sky, this is the spot. And finally, don't forget, if you spend the day down at the TRS exclusive beach area, your cocktail needs are covered at the La Jara Bar that we showed you earlier. It's your beachside beverage oasis. TRS Yucatan offers ultra-premium alcohol selections, and the mixology was fantastic. TRS has actually made our top 3 for the best cocktails at an adults-only, all-inclusive resort. TRS offers a truly diverse culinary and cocktail experience with standout meals at La Boheme and El Gaucho. While not every venue hit the mark for us, Tentazione comes to mind, the TRS restaurants as a whole were a clear step above the rest of the resort complex, including the Nest, which is technically the exclusive restaurant for both family selection and TRS guests at Cancun. Thanks for joining me on this gastronomic tour of TRS Yucatan. I hope this video helps you decide whether TRS is the right fit for your next all-inclusive getaway. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you know someone planning a resort trip, send them this video. It really helps to know what you're paying for before you book. If you'd like to support our channel and the kind of content that we create, you can check out our affiliate booking links. I'll put them in the description box or on our Facebook page. Using our links does not cost you anything extra, but it helps us keep producing honest, ad-free, and unsponsored resort reviews. Until next time, happy travels, and I'll see you next week. We are off to Punta Cana, and I can't wait to show you about the adults-only resorts down there. Bye, everybody.